News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.
And now we're going to be playing a very special speech by Nelson Mandela in acknowledgement of women.
Good evening, everyone. I am so pleased to be here in George with you, enjoying the wonderful concert. You may well ask, what is this old age pensioner doing here tonight? When he is supposed to have retired. Yes, I would love to enjoy the peace and quiet of retirement. But I know that, like many of you, I cannot rest easily while our beloved continent is ravaged by a deadly epidemic. We are all affected by the AIDS pandemic. But more than others, this epidemic carries the face of women, for it is women who bear the most significant burden of HIV and AIDS. As daughters, mothers, sisters, and grandmothers, every day they experience and live out the reality of this epidemic. Tonight we celebrate the women of Africa. And in celebrating this wonderful gift, we must proclaim that the women of Africa cannot continue to bear the burden of HIV and AIDS alone. For every woman and girl violently attacked, we reduce our humanity. For every woman forced into unprotected sex because men demand this, we destroy our dignity and our pride. Every woman who has to sell her life for sex, we condemn to a lifetime in prison. For every moment we remain silent, we conspire against our women. For every woman infected by HIV, we destroy a generation. Tonight my call is, give voice to the women of Africa. In the fight against HIV and AIDS, let their voices be heard in the centers of power. Let their voices be heard in the home. Let their voices be heard in the farms and factories, in the towns and villages. You have heard the story of Gertrude and her battle with AIDS. Her courage and determination is an example of how strong we can be. Annie has reminded us that we have to respond, and respond now. In 2003, I gave permission for the use of my Robben Island prison, number 46664, as a weapon in the struggle against AIDS. I did so, remembering how in the long years on Robben Island, we never lost hope. There were indeed dark days, but we held our strength and always knew there were so many people in South Africa and around the world who believed in our struggle for justice. Today, there are millions of women in Africa living on their own Robben Islands, struggling against terrible odds, alone and often without much hope. Tonight, you and I can say, we are here to help give you hope and strength. But we have to say more than that. We have to say, this must be a turning point. We are here to say that justice will not be achieved until every woman is in full control of her own life. And that control is practically implemented via her human rights. We can move towards this turning point in different ways. First, we need to talk more about the women's face of this epidemic. In the pages of statistics, this reality is often lost. We must hear and understand more about how this epidemic impacts on the lives of women. We must be honest and open about the power relationships between men and women, society, and we must help her build a more enabling and supportive environment that puts the role of women center stage in this struggle. Each one of us, sister and brother, mother and father, teacher and student, priest and parishioner, manager and worker, President and Prime Ministers must add our voice to this call for action. Not tomorrow or the next week, but now. You can help break the silence. Talk about HIV and AIDS. You can urge your leaders to do more and act now. You can show more care and compassion. You can protect our women and the next generation. We hold the future of this continent in our hands. Let us use the universal language of music to sing out our message around the world. I thank you.
Welcome to Just Talking Loud. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome to Just Talking Loud.
Good evening, Dr. Stewart.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I am doing fine. That was Nelson Mandela, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. You were saying, I'm talking about the women of Africa and them taking control of their lives. But it's not only the women of Africa, it's the women around the world.
Women of the world, yes.
Everywhere. And
right.
It's not only HIV and AIDS that they should be emancipating themselves from domestic abuse. You understand? Abuse in general.
That's correct.
I think what women need to do is to take control of their own life, start taking their well-being in hand, and standing up for themselves and standing up for what they believe in.
You're so correct.
Right.
You're so correct.
So until a woman can stand up, and not only a woman, until people can stand up for what it is they believe in, then we can never truly be free.
Marvelous. Well said. Well said.
Okay, so thank you for the wonderful work you're doing, and
thank you.
Continue.
You're most welcome. Take care now. Goodbye.
They'll call me freedom, just like a wave. and then it goes back, and then it goes back, and then it goes back, and then it goes Give you freedom, give you fire, give you reason, take you higher. See the champions take the... I wanna be free, like the bluebirds flying by me, like the waves out on the blue sea. If your love has to tie me, don't try me, say goodbye. I wanna be free. Don't say you love me, say you like me. But when I need you beside me, stay close enough to guide me, confide in me. Whoa, whoa. I wanna hold your hand, walk along the sand, laughing in the sun, always having fun, doing all those things without any strings to tie me down. I wanna be free, like the warm September wind, babe. Say you'll always be my friend, babe. We can make it to the end, babe. Again, babe, I've gotta say, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
We will now take a short break, and we'll be back with you momentarily.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.